Murtz Jaffer here with the, wait for it, winner of Big Brother Canada 6. How does that sound, Paris?
It doesn't sound real yet. It's a little overwhelming. Man, it sounds good though.
It does sound good. It does sound good. Now, clearly we got the same color memo.
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
Okay, now
And
what?
you look great.
I think so too. And it's always nice to be dressed the same way as a $100,000 winner.
I'm balling now.
Yeah, you are. All right. So many questions for you.
Yes.
The big question is, what do you define as a Big Brother floater? Because I'm watching the show, and some people, and you addressed this with the jury as well, thought
Right.
that you might not have won as many competitions as
Right.
Kayla and Derek did. What's the better player? Somebody who wins competitions, or somebody who has a social game where they don't need to win anything?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. To me, I appreciate a winner who's well-rounded. When you had to win competitions, you won competitions, and when you didn't, you were placed so well in the house that you didn't necessarily have to win. For me, I think I was able to achieve that with those final two HOHs. They're the most important of the season, and so if I hadn't won those two, then maybe you could call me a floater, but I don't think I would, tell anybody that I would say that I'm a floater at all, because I had just positioned myself so well that no matter who won, I was sitting well in the house. I was the third in so many duos. I was pitting people against each other the entire season. I was playing both sides of the house. No one expected it, and that's why they called me a floater, because I did it so well that they had no idea. To me, a floater is someone that just kind of gets dragged along the entire season just to be able to, like, hey, let's take this person to final two and we can beat them. That wasn't the case for me. I was making a lot of moves behind closed doors, and I was influencing a lot of people's HOHs, and that's why I didn't feel like I had to win. There was quite a few competitions in there where I threw it to the person that I, wanted to win, because I was like, I want you to take this shot at this person without getting my hands dirty. And so I wouldn't say I'm a floater, because I won the most two important HOHs, so.
Now, the move that you made that really sort of struck me as the game-changing move of the whole season was keeping Kayla instead of Ali. Can you tell me about the reasoning behind that move?
Yeah, so I knew that keeping Kayla was, in a way, not the best call, because it would keep the showmans in the house. They were so strong. There was a chance they were going to steamroll us all the way to the end.
Yep.
I recognize that. But at the same time, if I were to not keep Kayla, Maddie was 100% going home. And Maddie was a shield for me in this house. Maddie was always going to go home before me. She was very flashy about being intelligent and being strategic and being a mental player. And so I knew having her in the house would always give me an extra beat as long as she was in the house. And so I knew keeping Kayla wasn't just a final 5, it was a final 4 for me. Because even if worst case scenario happened and we didn't win that HOH, Maddie was going to go home before I did. And so that guaranteed me final 4.
And it worked, right? Because they won, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it guaranteed me a final 4, because, and then at that point you get to play in both of the final HOHs. And that's exactly how I wanted everything to go down. So I think that in some ways, it wasn't the smartest call, because, you don't keep a showmance in the house. That's Big Brother 101.
Yep.
But I knew that it was going to work out for me, because I had confidence in myself that when the time came, I could beat them, and I did beat both of them. So it's like I had to do what I had to do in the in the moment, and it was the hardest call I made this season. I went back and forth until the point where we're on the couch, I'm sure, as you saw.
Yes.
So it was really hard, but I think it was the right call.
Now, speaking of confidence, like when I think of Paris on Big Brother Canada 6, what I'm going to remember the most are all these conversations you had with the camera. This is my game. This is my game. Where did that come from?
I have just been such a huge fan of this game. Big Brother franchise as a whole since I was 11, and Big Brother Canada for 5 years now. I've obsessively watched this game. The reason I talk to the camera so much is because I was the live feeder on the other end, always obsessively watching these people like a freaking creep. And so I just wanted to give some love out to, those people that were me the past 5 years. And so I knew I had a really good shot at winning this, because I had envisioned it so much over and over again. I was sure of my mental abilities. I didn't know how I was going to do with my, physical comps, but I also knew that I have a very mind over matter mentality, and I knew that if I had to pull it out, I would. And so I thought, yes, they have picked 16 very capable individuals, obviously the best of the best, but I also felt like I had what it took in order to get to the end. And I knew I played a good social game. I knew I just had to win out, the last couple comps, and I could get there. So I think that's kind of where that confidence came from.
And we're almost done. What was the most pivotal move that happened on the show that you didn't make yourself?
Pivotal move. I mean, Erica was going to go one way or another, but I do think it was a good move to get her out quickly during, a moment like that where you get the opportunity. And I was really pushing for that in the pantry. I was like, you've got to get Erica out. I think that was pretty good. Someone like Johnny, like those are players that I look up to so much because they are just so great. And people like that, you have to like get out when you get the opportunity. Right. So I would say a couple moves like that was probably, maybe I'm missing one, but I feel like moves like that are probably good ones.
Are you surprised you won by such a landslide victory?
Yes and no. Before this speech, I didn't think that I was going to be having Liver Alley's vote. I thought they were very bitter, and I know that jury is always bitter. After the speech, kind of seeing their reactions to her and to me, I definitely felt a little bit more confident. I didn't think it was going to be a landslide when I walked in, though. Let me tell you that. I thought, it might be like a 4-3, like 5-2. Like, never thought it was going to be a 6-1. So I am honored.
Last question. What's the best part about being on Big Brother Canada?
Best part. Honestly, like, you can't pick out one thing. Like, there is just so much to it. The people I've met, the fact that I get to compete in these competitions, it's one thing to see it on TV, it's another thing to play in them. The moment where you win something really important, it's just like the best feeling in the world. And obviously being 100K richer, duh.
I like it. Paras, thank you so much.